And we're live. Welcome to the next episode of the Furry Raiders podcast. My name is Jolt, chief host of the show, and returning with us are Mikhail.
Heyo.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Wonderful, second time.
Yeah.
Next up, returning panelist Gil.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good to hear. The next returning panelist, Misfit Patchwork. Wow, you really go by a lot of names. Hey,
can you not remember how to pronounce my name?
Oh god, I mean, I haven't even played Metro a lot, dude.
It's Artyom.
And
Artyom.
That game, yeah, it's freaking free at the moment. Steam. They better be quick and get it.
I'll discuss it after we go through the rundown.
Oh, don't you worry. All right, then we have two first timers joining us on the show. Please introduce yourselves and tell us a little fun fact about yourself, your character, or so forth. Lou.
It's okay. Take a deep breath.
Stop
Yeah.
You're good.
Cat. That's it. I'm a twink cat.
Joy.
I'm a candy.
And our second first timer joining us, Hernan.
Yes, thank you for having me. I am Hernan Hoppus. I'm just your regular blue rabbit. I'm just
existing.
Yeah.
I'm a
Carrot muncher.
Yeah, I'm a carrot muncher and a historical aficionado.
And a rodent that hops and is blue and eats carrots, right?
Oh yeah, you've read me well.
Are rabbits?
Yeah.
What kind of uniform is that for your character?
I mean, hedgehogs are rodents too.
I think that's.
Shit there.
Oh, let's go with like some kind of a German army looking thing.
It looks more interesting.
Your thing.
Okay.
All right.
You can say Polish.
Shall we start this up then?
Can I get
I have a little bit of a funny preface for you that's been happening all out on Furry Twitter.
Okay.
Ooh.
And that is the degenerate sweater meme.
Oh.
Oh god. Yeah.
You're a Trump supporter and therefore completely fucking forfeit. You're right to participate in a wholesome meme started by transgender, asshole.
Was that you, Gil?
Yes, it was. Look at
Wow.
this. I
Find me
mean,
where you live.
of
The
all it's
salt.
okay. Now the picture is borderline or whatever, and borderline SFW whatever.
The art is good though. I like the art.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
honestly, is this now the part where freaking we can't draw those sweaters now because of my politics?
Well,
Dumb people.
well, sucks to be them. Someone already drew me wearing that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean,
They're mad that the character who made it is a Trump supporter. What?
No. She basically decided to join in. Like somebody decided, hey, draw yourself in nothing but that sweater only. And then said person Wolf Rory joined in, and then the Sayash who made it screened the character, and then went full NPC on this.
So essentially, someone just like someone just comes out of the blue and like just starts making demands, like how this, like, oh, you cannot make this meme because you're a Trump supporter. Yeah, soy NPC. MSNPC, CNN, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you just have to laugh at the fact that that thing is just so hilariously degenerate, and every single furry just jumped right on board.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I drew the spider meme.
Quick comment. Leo, why'd you put a link to Blue Bunny Sundays in the
This is
chat?
I have a blue rabbit.
Is that ice cream any good? I've never had it.
Yeah, blue rabbit.
Oh, great.
Wow.
No,
Speaking about the shirt meme, I remember seeing a picture of like Sherbert, you know, doing the shirt meme. Only it was completely backwards, and it was his butt showing because he was wearing it in his pants.
Isn't that type of sweater supposed to be meant to be worn over like a blouse or something?
Dude, that
Maybe.
thing is actually way more degenerate than those Virgin Killer sweaters. Some people.
Ugh.
Which are meant to be worn with other clothing.
Especially like that sweater as well too, like as I think it's an old meme. But hey, rather an old meme because it's Halloween, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
like I was saying, like
Speaking of Halloween,
you know that
God.
sweater that's like shows a cleavage if you know what I'm talking about.
Stop giving
I-
Joel easy segues.
nah.
I think my personal input on this thing, memes are supposed to be for everyone.
Yeah.
Like you can't like say, oh yeah, you can't like keep it like at a certain small group. I mean,
No.
memes are meant to spread, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, though, that was the only kind of preface I wanted to introduce the show on, because I know every single furry is just going to jump in there and get themselves drawn wearing just that. Please, this side disclaimer, don't get any ideas.
it draws everyone's sweater.
Oh, yeah. By the way, shall we? We'll get started on the first kind of the topic, because like we were approaching that time of year. Yes, we're approaching Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
And you know something? I kind of feel a little bummed because in my neck of the woods, like there's little fanfare or celebration happening around.
I don't even know where you are, Jolt.
I think he's in Australia.
Correct.
But I think
okay.
but I think I know. I mean, like less and less people are, let's say, celebrating Halloween because of, well, you know, it should be pretty much obvious as well too that there are a lot of the NPCs as well too, because like they're like pressuring people to not celebrate Halloween because it offends them because your feelings. Because it can
funny you bring
can
that up.
Yeah, because you can't dress up like that because you're appropriating my culture.
Funny you bring that up, because I'm going to share a perfect example of this right now.
I'd like to point out how funny it is that
Yeah, let's see.
Look at this.
Like,
Lives outraged over offensive Mexican Halloween costume, quote unquote offensive. Actual Mexicans love it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
I
pretty much
think-
how-
It's not because the Mexicans love it because it's not cultural appropriation. It's culture. Well, what was it again?
Respect.
Representation, something like that.
Appreciation, yeah,
Yeah,
cultural
appreciation,
appreciation.
Yeah, cultural appreciation.
I think this just reminds me of like Speedy Gonzalez of decades ago.
Mm-hmm. and then
Oh, I
people
love
wonder why.
Gonzalez, that mouse.
Mhm.
I mean, like it's just usually like those. I think from what I know, it's like usually like the white American pearl clutchers are the ones who says that, and then yet the Mexican part of the population says, "Oh no, we love it."
I
I
know.
don't really have much of a comment on this because I just dress up as a goddamn bird.
Which completely undermines the entire which completely undermines the NPC motives and their attacks and everything.
Speaking of which,
Like, am I gonna be?
has anybody
be-
actually tried, gotten the idea of trying to make a jumpsuit wearing with an NPC face on it? for Halloween.
Mm.
I know people like that have showed up at rallies
Oh yeah.
across the nation, but I'm not going to do that because I've got a blue budgie kigu, which is an Australian parakeet, which is that's what I'm going to use until I get a fursuit.
I mean, it's perfect. It's cheap, and it just flat out offends them.
If someone's going to get offended by me dressing up as a blue bird, I will lose what little faith I have.
I would pray someone would make a fursuit. Just all gray with just eyes for dots and a slit for a mouth.
Actually, there was actually there's like this one protestable too, which he was in like the the movement of the anti-Trump. He was wearing a mask with the NPC and a sign saying "Orange Man bad," and nobody gives a shit. I mean,
nobody could tell it was real.
Yeah.
You know what? On the topic of an NPC fursuit, like can you imagine what it's going to look like? What
the devil himself?
Yeah,
or is it just going to be like a freaking flat face with
No, it'd be the most generic furry animal ever.
God, a fox.
A gray fox.
No. What's a dog patches, Sona?
Oh, so good.
Well, he's a dog.
Actually, he would be perfect to be NPC if I had a grass.
No, I think one of the worst actual costumes to dress up as in my country is a terrorist.
Really?
Colin, aren't you?
Yeah,
Canadian?
like a Muslim terrorist.
Aren't you Canadian?
Good lord.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they fully support that and try to give you social benefits?
Oh, ha ha.
Well, I was gonna say I think that'd be worse where I live because I was gonna say walk around New York City like that and people get really mad.
Oh yeah.
People like go crazy.
Texas would be the worst place to dress up like that. You get shot immediately.
It's bad enough in my province of Saskatchewan when it comes to that
No one's gonna
kind of
try
stuff.
Nope.
But in places like the Greater Toronto area or Montreal are like the worst places for the Muslim migrants and all that.
Speaking of politics, real quick, that actually should have been a topic we could have. Maine is looking like it's going to become a red state.
That's good.
Did you say Maine?
Yes, Maine.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's like
Wow.
We've been a split state for the longest time. Like the northern half would vote Republican, while the southern half would vote Democrat, and then the Democrats would get the votes either way. So yeah, I mean, if we elect Sean Moody, which is probably going to happen,
By the way,
yes.
While we're on the topic of this stuff, let's go back and I'll kind of interrupt the show to read a few live comments first. Junie says, "Have you guys seen the new Dr. Phil episode of Black Girl Who Believes in White Supremacy?" Oh my goodness! Anyone who just doesn't really think he's a white supremacist.
I think I have actually, but I'm not too sure. Gonna have to look it up again.
Oh no! It's one of those multi-ethnic white supremacists.
Yeah. Because now it's so cheap. What is race even?
Don't worry. Some bunch of bastards kind of think that I'm some kind of white supremacist Nazi. Bitch, I'm a brown dude.
I'm Italian.
Speaking of Halloween stuff, now to get back on track, I'm going to share with you the most ridiculous knockoff Halloween.
Is it going to be Fortnite costumes? If it's Fortnite
Spill the
costumes, I'm leaving. If I see a single Fortnite costume, I'm leaving this call.
Okay.
Nope.
Bossy Salem sister. Nope.
Okay.
What the fuck?
It's not Fortnite.
Cyberman of Padre. Wow, that is basically the cheapest Matrix knockoff ever. I expect.
These are kind of old. Isn't the date
Really
on
old.
That tweet, the date on that tweet is 2016. Is it? I can't tell.
Some of 2018 too. Kansas Sweetie. Wow. Hungry Rebel Girl.
Hungry Rebel.
Big important what?
Slightly off topic.
That sounds like some Hunger Games shit.
It does.
Hungry Rebel Girl.
The Hunger Games movie, every single Hunger Games movie was absolute garbage. I didn't like any of those movies.
TFW, you eat the library.
Next one.
I thought the Hunger Games movies were okay.
Creepy husband.
The girls acting
my
was
gosh.
terrible.
That
Also,
porno stash.
the Divergent movies are even worse.
That
Oh,
porno
imagine.
stash. No.
Oh, don't start talking about Divergence.
Juice
I love-
Demon.
Demon. Oh.
Oh my god. Oh. That's Beetlejuice.
It's
for
a
fuck's sake.
creepiest wig and a creepy prison suit.
I can feel the bootleg coming from here.
Actually-
what do you mean?
Is hang on a sec. Is somebody reading the live chat?
Yes, I am. I was talking to myself.
Okay, hang on a sec. But
I talked
alright,
to
there's a
myself
few
lot.
more.
That's-
There's another couple more little costumes to share around. Track. Where's the stripy dude?
Oh my
Is
god.
that it's
Where's fucking Waldo?
No,
Is
it's
it because of like some copyright stuff? Is that why they're not saying "Where's Waldo"
Yeah.
anymore on those
It's not
costumes?
just that, but this is
Oh,
also freaking imitation stuff. I mean, it's cheap
It's
and
all about
Halloween.
copyright. It makes it easier for them to just rename it than to get
Yeah. Next one.
than to pay for the copyright and all that.
Lad in that costume.
Okay.
Insert CSI on CSI scream right there.
Whoever wears that's gonna.
Sorry. Aladdin, for fuck's sake.
I mean, if you want to do thingo, do it. Make one yourself, or for crying out loud, get something that's more elaborately and well done.
Or just be a furry.
Aladdin
That too.
in
That-
costume.
His name treasure. I mean, it's what it is though. But I mean, you also know what the biggest trend on Twitter as well is that jack-o'-lantern cut up as an NPC.
Oh.
I've seen a few of those.
Like,
Hey, I mean, it's a meme.
I want to talk about those goddamn cows.
yeah, it is.
Well-
And when you really think about it, it's basically that just taking the ridiculousness of being offended on Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, how we didn't have any issues last year or the year before or the past 2018 years or however long Halloween's been a thing.
Until now, right?
Someone's going to grill me
It's-
for saying
no.
2018 years.
Yeah.
Only now has it become an issue.
I think
Just
from
because
how
it's political.
By the way-
things are going, it's pretty much just a moral panic. It's just like back in the 80s, Dungeons and Dragons is Satan.
That old. Yeah.
But-
No, it's not that. It's just
Dungeons and Dragons was satanic practice and preaching.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember
something like
that.
that. Yeah.
I remember
I mean-
watching John stuff about it
oh my god.
because I'm the youngest one here.
Side note. My co-host currently is at Furpocalypse, the Halloween themed FurCon, and one of our guys who
Theo?
went there basically saw the dreaded. Well, not I don't say dreaded. The terrible freaking those ribbons.
Mm.
Oh,
Those
Mm.
those ribbons.
Yes.
Those ribbons.
Oh, the Nazi furs. Fuck off one.
Oh.
Can be. I mean, it's like at this stage you just have to tell them to can you just stop beating this dead horse?
Or just saying just ask them to leave.
Technically, it doesn't apply to us because none of us are Nazi furs.
They don't exist. Not really. Oh yeah.
So logically,
See if word in my Twitter.
Well, hey, Ivera is perfect for Halloween con because everybody will be all over his sweet candy corn ass.
Oh.
there's a child here, and I am that child.
That sounded so gay.
Hey, it's him, right? Anyway, since we've kind of run down of the Halloween topic, I think I've got some interesting furry news stories to share.
I
Go on.
If it's what I think it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my god.
This quotation marks furry former boxing band has hit the big time. Look at their freaking costumes.
Mm.
A freaking pink monkey with basically somebody with a grafted on face, a butchered Mickey Mouse hybrid of and a
Gorilla?
chimpanzee.
And what looks like to be a pussycat that's flipping us off or something.
I mean, I kind of was like holding myself not to say this, but the amount of soy in one picture, and the guy in the background is just confused as shit. Look at him.
You can't make
I mean, can they afford a better place than Grand Central Station in New York?
That's
Like-
like
Creepy costumes.
so many people go through. They're gonna get so many tips.
I mean,
Where
you
else
live
would
in
you
New
go?
York, right? Don't you, Lou? Like,
I live in Long Island. Visit the city basically whenever I want. I've been to the city enough to know that unfortunately, Grand Central Station and Penn Station, I think they're the same thing, but you'll get so many tips there because it's just waves of people. So many people come through.
It's almost
oh
always
yeah,
full.
I was there, and it's nothing but full of street performers and makeshift chunky mascot costumes.
I love them. They're the best.
There we go.
Oh,
I love when they
Lord.
grab you and then they get mad because you don't tip.
Uh huh.
That's
Where-
my
See,
where else
the
would you
silent
go to
folks
those
who
densely
can
populated
musicians,
places to see?
but
Inside the weird world of furry fetish. What?
what? Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, it says that, and despite the suits, none of the band members identify as furries, although the furry fetish community has reached out to them to perform, and they're filled with dogs. Is this the reason why furry has no real? If look, if furry can't get musicians like these, which are like of such caliber, then honestly, I don't see what hope furry has for attracting big names.
Phil.
Oh.
Phil.
I mean, dude, people like Pepper Coyote don't count.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's like a Fox Amore or something like that.
Fox Amore
Like
counts.
there's like a Renard Queenston as well too. Like that was another a good furry musician.
But no freaking big name that actually would dress up would go anywhere near a fan with a 10-foot pole.
I don't know if this is relevant.
Mm.
Be really mad when fursuiters actually come in. They don't like it. Because most of the time, like the fursuiters costumes are better, and it's like all competition in New York City. Because I got stopped once, and I was just taking pictures with people, and one of the performers told me I had to go get a permit. I was like, I'm not taking money though. I'm just walking around.
Or just run away.
They get really mad over it. And it's funny.
Wait, they got mad at you for taking pictures of people?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was and they because they take tips. That's their whole thing. They take tips and they expect like money for what they do. But I wasn't. I was just walking around.
Of course, I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty weird as well too, isn't it? I mean, you're dancing in the street, like have a little can for coins and everything people could toss at you while you do your shit, right?
yeah,
And people often are indeed gonna take pictures and everything, and they say like, "Hey, you need a permit, so like, pay me, yeah, that would be amazing." Bitch, please, you're already being paid in little 10. What the fuck? Oh, shut the fuck up, greedy cunt.
I love New York City. It's the best.
Speaking of greedy cunts, here's the next news story that this is gonna either scare you or just creep you right out. Here it is. Cow cuddling is the new wellness trend now, and it costs $300 for a 90-minute session.
Cool. I can do the same thing with a cat or a dog, and it's free.
I mean,
You still
yeah.
have to feed the cat. Right?
I mean, it says, ever thought of snuggling up with a 1,000-pound farm animal to help you with your mental health? No? Neither have I.
That's just my boyfriend.
Look at
I
this.
think
Did you just
Are
call
they, are they really... That looks like some real A-grade cuddling.
Leo, did you just call your boyfriend a 1,000-pound animal?
Free.
I hope he's not in the chat.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Read this. You know, according to PubMed, there's proof that humans can decrease their stress levels by interacting with animals. I mean, while this concept sounds strange, goat yoga, cat yoga, bunny yoga. There's a bunny in this room. Can you please explain how bunnies yoga?
I don't know. We just stretch.
Can you please?
I mean, bunnies.
I mean, dude, you know something about this, dude. You're one yourself.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it's a profitable business.
Man, I would do that. That's a good idea, though. But
Or is this basically one of those, you know, yoga for bunnies in suits?
Thing is, I think
the things people do just to earn a buck, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just giving me a little bit of like, is this like something a vegan thought of?
yeah. Except
Or soy
no.
tar.
You know what the funny part is? I'm not even sure if a vegan would want to cuddle up like this.
Well, I mean, they're not like sticking their teeth on that little bovine stuff.
No. Anyway, to get back to the article, Mountain Horse Farm in upstate New York is offering the horse and cow experience where people can connect with these large barnyard animals. You can interact with them however you want by petting, brushing, or playing with them. If you're not in the mood to play with the animals, you can simply cuddle with them.
Why wouldn't they use pigs? Because pigs are extremely smart animals.
Well, I don't know. Isn't that got something to do with the, you know, the dirt, the stench, the mud?
Pigs don't like that climate. That's just something they resort to if it's all they've got. Pigs
And besides, yeah, go ahead.
Pigs are fairly clean living animals.
And besides, you know, like pigs, you know, they roll in mud as well too, is because they are biologically unable to sweat. So, in order to cool down their body heat, they have to do it somehow, otherwise they die.
Speaking of that, like they claim, cows have a body temperature slightly higher than humans, and their heart rate is lower than ours. Oh my goodness! And then this is basically like cuddling up with a cow, feeling that lower heart rate and higher body temperature is very relaxing, quote unquote.
I mean, cows are pretty cool.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it's not. I mean, think of this. Is this something you'd want to try? Because they say the horse and cow experience costs $300 for a 90-minute session. However, if you're only interested in the cow cuddling part, you can book a 60-minute session for only $75. For both of the sessions, you can bring a friend.
Do you know how it is to just hop over any farmer's fence and do this?
Exactly. Just visit a farmer's hole too, call for a cow, and the cow's just gonna come with you, and you play with the cow. How hard could it be, right?
Yeah. There's that. There's an element of, you know, entering the farm.
I think my only concern in this one is the cow might just, you know, roll over and then crush you.
Itself?
No, the worst thing that can happen is that if someone, because this is like cow cuddling, but they could probably get a customer who wants more than just cuddling.
Oh! Go there!
Yep, I had to.
I hate to say it, but he's kind of right.
Oh, Lord.
This is heading towards levels of degenerate we didn't think could happen.
We've had to deal with that like a couple weeks ago already at this point. No more.
All because of goddamn... I'm not even going to say
yeah, Mr. Well...
I was going to talk about our best friend, Mr. K.
Yeah, but that's a story that was probably, you know...
At this point, because of the evidence I've seen, I'm kind of against him. But anyway,
it's a story for another time as much as...
Yes.
Ooh.
Live
comments time.
I know Scorch is in there. Scorch is in there.
Yeah, A. Johnson says, porpin, tweet emoji. Ice Kitsune says, well, the farmers around here are like the rest of my neighbors. They will not stop to shoot you for trespassing. I mean, yeah, you don't do this in you don't do this in a Republican state.
Hippity hoppity, get the fuck out of my property.
There's that.
fuck is my property?
Toonie asks, should I go to Fur Park tomorrow? If you can make
Yes.
it, sure. Right now it's Friday 7.
Just
7,
Toonie, go and hang out with Candy again because
yeah, I mean, there's also some other guys.
Let me finish. Jolt.
All right. One more live comment. Guandoya Bugarika says, "Hi, I have a question. So my friend and I have a bet, but neither of us really know the answer. Is furry porn considered a type of hentai?"
Depends.
Who asked this?
It's someone in live chat. Guandoya.
Depends on
Guess.
I would put it under a different classification. Same with with the MLP stuff. That's a completely separate category. So I mean, so yeah, they're all three of them are completely separate categories of different things.
Yes.
What do we call it?
You can mix them together, but they are all separate.
Well, if it's like those kimono types, maybe that would be like hentai.
Yeah, that would be thing if you did that with nekos and so on.
Nekos would fall under yes.
But
Full-on animal characters, if it's an anime character that's an animal, then it falls under that. But if it's a fursona or other type of animal, then it falls under yeah.
Anyway, since we have time, we've got one more little oddball story. Here it is. The guy behind the popular children's mascot turned it into a pothead, and now the network is suing him.
Oh, wow. TVO sends legal threat over unauthorized use of Naruto pothead parody. Oh.
Can I stop you for a second, Joel, and just tell you what the recommended video on this live stream is right now? It's a video about Dan from the Game Grumps confirmed as a furry.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. There's at least 4 videos dedicated to that.
Yeah.
Okay, back to this.
Odd one's out as a furry, low-key.
That's probably the best way to do it.
I wouldn't consider myself a furry. No.
Polkaroo and now
Totally not a furry.
look at this though. Polkaroo and that is basically an old Canadian mascot costume or something. Yes, it's from Ontario. Have you two guys ever heard of that cartoon? Gail and Mikhail? Are you familiar with that with Polkaroo as a character or as a cartoon or something?
This is based in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a mascot.
I missed that part.
All right.
Huh.
And
well,
now,
then, I don't know anything about this. I am really sorry. I don't have any information on that.
That's all right.
You and me both.
We need more Canadians on this live stream.
Yeah, what's it called?
We have so much legislation in this country. It's ridiculous.
Like, rules for being a mascot in Canada.
I don't really like Canada, honestly.
I mean, here's the funny thing, though. Look at this. Now the thing that says the best story of 2018 is a guy basically making a mascot into a pothead. Spends 20 years dancing around that costume.
Wait, they're making
Oh, they're making them into a pothead-like mascot? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I mean, who would be? I mean, caution alert, this next picture might be disturbing.
Well, I mean, we did legalize this stuff.
Oh my goodness.
What the fuck is that?
That's a
He's trying to give himself a blowjob?
That's
it's
a bomb
an awkwardly
costume on the
placed
left.
pipe.
Yes.
That's all it is.
The joke's on him is that actually to put the weed in, it has to go on the little pipe that's sticking out. So that's where you light it.
So essentially, you put weed into your dick hole and light yourself on fire.
No.
Yeah, he's got it all wrong. He's got it backwards.
Dude, that's one way of getting lit.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got it backwards. He's got it all wrong.
Oh, the best part is, I remember the time, when like children's mascots used to be against drugs and everything.
Now this
And now
happens.
this.
Look at the similarities.
That's actually pretty funny. Like, yeah, it's funny because back in the 80s and even I was like growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was always those mascots telling us not to do drugs. And now they're fucking doing drugs.
Yeah, hey kids, don't do drugs. And yeah, like, whoa, dude, this herb is so good. What else we got?
All right, so other than that, that's funny enough, how did the Canadian drug legislation go? Literally,
well,
1017. Now you got a new name, right?
Yeah, 1017, blaze it.
Oh, gee.
Or there's 420 blaze it. It has to be something different. It has to be 1017. Blaze it? Leaf it? Well, it is. It was legalized. It was legalized in fall, so yeah, leaf. So yeah.
Leaf it. Oh my god.
I've returned. I had to deal with my cat. He's being a pain.
1017 leaf it.
What did I miss?
Leafy is here.
Well, if your cat's being a pain, give him some catnip.
I'm not giving him catnip. He doesn't need drugs.
Oh lord.
Makes me think in a furry world.
Oh yeah, you're asking for the legislation of the weed. Well, it's legal even for recreational use, but in terms of business-wise, to sell it, you have to have certain licenses for it now, and some of the dispensaries that were already set up and already selling to people, where some of them ended up closing because they couldn't afford to pay the 10 grand new license that is pretty much gone into effect on 1017.
Oh, fun.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, no one can buy it, right? Like, you have to have like something wrong with you to buy it.
Yeah. You would just go in there. You would get your stuff. But to be honest with you, it was so easy to go even into the medical dispensaries. It's like, you go in there, you basically write down on a little list about what you have. It's like, okay, I have anxiety, the thing that everybody has, and then they're like, okay, here's your card. Come back anytime.
Speaking of weed, I'm pretty sure someone is building a massive cinder block building about a mile down the road from me, and we're pretty certain that it's going to be used to grow weed. I've also just noticed that RC is here.
Oh, well, and here's the thing about weed. When it comes to weed, we all know that weed is a conspiracy used by the right wing in order to create the false flaggings that is going on in the world. I mean, seriously, folks, gun control.
I'm going to smack you.
Also, because it is that time of the season.
That's not how weed is like.
Oh yeah, here's how Halloween is. Ooh, I'm an Antifa supporter. Ooh.
So you're...
I'm an NPC.
I am...
Anyways, I was going to say as well, too. Actually, it was
fucking...
Yeah,
What's
also...
his name?
Hey, can I speak already, goddammit?
Anyway,
alright, so when it was when it was quite a few days ago, I mean, around Montreal, I guess. I mean, when weed was legalized, there's some people say you're not supposed to smoke weed and drive at the same time, right? But guess what? They were smoking weed and driving.
I think it's in America. I think that's a federal law.
Yeah, I mean, I saw people that say like poofing out some smoke at their side and just driving as slow as a granny.
I mean, in America, it's still driving under the influence of a drug, so...
and there was so many of them, you have no idea.
Gentlemen.
And that's the legislation about it, too. That's why there's commercials talking about it and, not being under the influence of weed and stuff. But people are still going to do it anyways. I mean, well, it's not like that people weren't doing it before.
Like, I think it's amazing how people can even drive on weed. Because what I was gonna ask is like, no, what I was gonna add in is like, someone I knew in Florida would drive doing LSD, and I'm like, how? How have you not crashed? And it's like, I want to know if people do it.
I'm pretty sure it's almost as bad, if not worse, than driving drunk.
Let's not do that stuff. Full stop.
Yeah, please, let's not get into that debate.
People should be doing it. I'm just saying, how do they do it?
Nah.
If you drive on drugs and die, some 12-year-old is gonna come do a Fortnite dance and you're dead.
Oh, no.
No.
You just made it cancerous. No, that's it. We're terminating this discussion on drugs.
All right.
We're
Anyway,
getting off track too either way.
You know,
So-
it's a good way to
Spill
get
the
people to
nuts.
stop doing drugs.
Yeah.
Cancer is a good way to get people to stop. If threatening them with Fortnite dances is a good way to get people to stop, then yes, I'm going to
I
say
didn't
it.
think that probably would, unless they knew Fortnite was cancer. But anyway. Yeah. So the next item on the plate is this whole big discussion of transgenderism that the Trump administration is supposedly wanting to ban, and now everybody has gone up in arms over this.
Oh, come on.
I mean, look at this. All the Trump administration wanted to do is just basically make a clear-cut definition under biological facts.
Immutable condition and everything else. Yeah, go on.
And I mean, and now the New York Times basically said is thinking that all these people are going to be erased, like as if some Infinity Gauntlet stuff.
That was most
Yeah.
But isn't making a legislation out of this kind of what the trans community wanted in the first place?
Exactly. And now they got it. They're actually going all up in arms.
Because it's
I mean,
basically-
sure it's well too that they got everything what they wanted, but because it's Trump, they have to protest.
And it's not just that, but because they framed it in such a way as if they all they were running on is fear and paranoia.
And the amount of pain and suffering they cause to everyone else in compensation.
I mean, this is not even about ringing. This is about trying to help them, for crying out loud. Help them get the right dosage of medication, because, so that they don't actually get any ill effect if they were overdosed or something.
Mm-hmm. So in all regards, I mean, I bet Trump would just say, "You're welcome, ungrateful cunts."
Yes.
What kind of drugs are we talking about?
not talking about
HRT,
drugs.
what do you
Kind that
want,
makes you see
right?
purple aliens.
Oh.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, the fact of the matter is that, what absolutely was funny too, was that look at the that I'm going to share with you a spergout that this has caused, because a certain popular furry basically got so up in arms over this on his own chat room.
Oh dear.
Here it is.
All right.
It's Boozy.
Okay.
Of course.
I know some of you in here are trans, and today's news worries you. It's not should be okay, scared, worried, and angry. What is being proposed is horrific to me as a human and as an attorney. Please know we love you and support you. I will do everything to make sure you know that you deserve to the full protection of the law and the full acceptance of our society. Go on.
Wow. That's just part
Ooh.
one. Look at him. Like, he's basically just got up in arms.
Oh, I definitely got a few words to say about this thing.
To
Okay.
others, this is not a political question open to debate or discourse. It is a movement meant to limit the real protections of a specific group of people based on the morals of another group. This is bigotry, this is discrimination. I will not have it defended or minimized in a chat that bears my name. Oh, really?
Why do transgenders need special rights?
I don't know. But look,
Higher up
you
there,
just love the
people.
fact that Boozy is basically flexing his muscles like, ooh, this is my territory, and you can't freaking attack these.
It's a big fucking virtual signal. Part 3, Jolt. Anyone
Okay.
found doing so will be tossed out. Question and discuss if you want, but we will not tolerate questioning someone's basic humanity. Questioning someone's basic humanity. For fuck's sake.
You were about to say something? Like, you were remarking on this stuff?
Questioning someone's basic humanity. Let that sink in like a fine wine, you know? The taste of shit that it brings to the soul.
I mean, they shouldn't really get special rights. I don't know why they get special rights at all.
And sometimes they just fight for equality.
The Obama era administration basically just relaxed the rules to allow this to happen. Now, for the sake of the reversal, basically just means now they can't. They think they're basically under threat, and that's the only thing that happens in their minds. Like,
they're not under threat; they'll be just fine. Nothing will change for them.
Yeah, and now to deal with all this ideological nuclear fallout as well too, from all. From all the for all the Obama baloney.
Here's what I don't understand. This is what bothers me. Two things. Number one, as was pointed out, like asking for special treatment. I thought this was supposed to be freaking equality. Y'all wanted.
Exactly.
Instead, y'all wanted to put yourselves up as the higher group, saying y'all deserve more rights than the other people. You know who did that? Frickin' Adolf Hitler, concerning his race, comparing the Jews and the gays and the blacks and all that sort of stuff. So pretty much, who's the real Nazis here when you're trying to put yourselves up higher than the others? Secondly, when it comes to the idea of we're trying to put it out of existence or not, no, we're just simply going by the definition of the science, which is on gender and sex, which is a debate they get into another time. But that's all that's going on here. As far as if you want to continue identifying as Sheila, even though your name was Bob when you started out being born, you can do that all you want. It's just not going to be recognized as law. And people were doing this before it was recognized as law, and they were still happy and fine without that. And there are people today that are transgender that are okay with allowing this bill that is going to be passing. They're fine with that because why? It doesn't take away their humanity, and that's what is so full of crap. Is it's not taking away humanity. It's not taking away your basic rights. It's not doing any of that. We still recognize you as a human. We still recognize you as someone who exists. We just don't agree with the ideology that you have in terms of what you're proclaiming gender and sex is. It's simply a fact that we care about you, and we will want to be friends with you, but we are not going to disagree with science. And that's one of the things I want to say this about Boozy. And if Boozy's listening to this, which I hopefully he will, because here's what I say to Boozy. Boozy, I'm sorry that you hate science over what you want to put in as law over what, objective facts say in science. Sorry about that.
Also,
we could send it to him, but
and this is coming from a Christian.
Also, another bit of a question too. How many people have already just lost their jobs so goddamn easily for bullshit like, oh, he misgendered me. Please fire him from my job. He's such a mean person. Yeah, how about we stop some of that bullshit, huh? Because I swear to Christ.
I've kind of read up on
yes, Aaron, yes.
Just to clarify, so they kind of misinterpreted what the ruling says.
I think the New York Times exactly knows what they want to basically incite the trans people to get up in arms against the Trump administration.
So technically, they twisted some of the words.
Yeah. I mean, the
classic conditioning, man. The classic conditioning.
I mean, where the Trump administration hoped to set clarification, the New York Times hoped to see him as being wiped from existence. Also, on that same note.
Oh,
and
also because
what's it called? The transgender military ban, right? That was done for the good of the trans people. That wasn't even a military ban. It was a ban from serving in front lines.
There's actually so many. Yeah, there's actually so many things. Like these people get it wrong intentionally just to cause the spur and everything because it hurts it's so dangerous to our democracy. Our democracy.
I think I just remembered there was like, I think there was like a question from General Mattis about like that kind of issue, and then I think his response was, "I don't really care if you can kill someone effectively. I'm happy with it."
I mean, as long as they do the job right.
Yeah, I mean, soldiers are just meant to be trained to do that. So that's only task.
Mm-hmm. It's something. It's like sometimes it's just something that's supposed to be so easy and simple. Yeah, comes out all these moral bigots and just make something so complex.
Yeah.
Out of it. And one simple screw up, and you're out of the game. That's it. And you're all like essentially like just paying one hell. I mean, that's gonna have your life like shredded down to bits and gonna be virtually impossible to rebuild back. So hey, what alternative is there? I don't know.
No. Anyway,
yeah, for the whole keeping, like you said, it's like one misstep. It's kind of like you're walking on a tightrope the entire time.
Yeah.
Ooh, make it worse. Walking on a tightrope covered in eggshells.
I was gonna say glass shards.
Okay,
that's probably on the very bottom of it. You fall, you get blast.
So what's the next
All right,
topic?
yeah, we've got time for the last topic. And this is basically something grand. Here is the next topic. SQLite's Christian-themed code of conduct angers SJW NPCs.
Funny how I'm in here.
What's your what does NPC mean, like in the way you guys are using it?
Well, NPC actually means non-player character, but in this terms it means people who just, and the easiest way to put it is people who, like a hive mind, people who see the same thing, agree all the same way, say the exact same thing,
and repeat dialogue.
Yeah,
like a fucking NPC.
Okay.
Or pre-programmed responses.
Yeah.
Pretty
much
look at leftist news sites that put out the exact same article the exact same day.
And the same talking points.
Yeah, and if you would dare to disagree with them, oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah. So to start on with the topic, SQLite is essentially an open source circle of coders and so forth. And just for context, that the coding community like Linux and so forth have been under pressure to put these codes of conduct in. Well, but that's kind of largely irrelevant, especially if what you're after is the best, most functioning, most efficient piece of code, right? Like nobody cares who wrote it or what gender, what sexuality wrote it, as long as it works efficiently.
That's how it goes.
And now, SQLite basically decided, okay, the NPC says, make a code of conduct, and SQLite says, okay, have this one instead. It's inspired by Christian values by Saint Benedict. And let's read this out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not going to read this out. We just want to skim through the list. Like, one, first of all, love the Lord your God with your whole heart, your whole soul, and your whole health. And essentially,
can I say something real quick? Actually,
yes.
So I was actually doing a bit of a history, research a while ago.
Yeah.
So you guys remember as well too, when the church used to be all high, mighty, and powerful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that sure there's been some retards as well too that's been using the church and religion for power, and they actually found, a straight way to hell. But it gets even better than that, because back then the church had all kinds of fun stuff. Actually, especially not just religious matters, but also medical and actually diplomatic reasons, and functions as well too. Until came, some sort of a retard and said like, no, this is not our nature, and he closed everything down. So yeah, thanks, asshole, from long time ago.
Anyway, the point of the matter is, this is literally the best thing you could have, because it's an actual guideline for behavior and for values, morals, and so forth.
Yeah,
not this whole, Let's
Being
push
defensive.
my hate speech and everything. Let's protect.
And so, what is this site that it's where these guidelines are being?
It's on the official SQLite site on the code of conduct. I may have it with me. I may not have it. But
To sum it up for you guys, since I don't know, all of you are not going to read, like 100-point long list. It's essentially say, be a good person, be nice to other people, and follow the teachings of Christ.
Right.
And also, what the Christ is all this?
Hang on a second. Yeah, most of this stuff it's very much largely,
Really,
essentially a guideline for how you should, your act and so forth. But ultimately, here's the best part. NPCs basically got so up in arms at these proposed Christian values, and I'll let you read some of the tweets that's been listed here, one by one.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Abrahamic.
So SQLite from one person. So SQLite decided to adopt a code of conduct, which is great, but they decided to adopt one that isn't practical to enforce and that excludes anyone who's not adherent to an Abrahamic tradition. No, really.
And there's the site link.
Yes.
I will not contribute to SQLite. First of all, love the Lord God with your whole heart, your whole soul, and your whole strength. And also, do me a favor. I mean, like, see, this is a bit like another thing, but do me a favor and never actually use God's name or Jesus Christ's name in vain for your own political reasons. Or to Christ, I swear, he'll put you in a hell so deep and so dark, and you'll forget the light of day.
Here's a good one.
Oh,
As a Muslim, I am not offended by the SQLite code of conduct. I'm offended by people on the extreme left constantly telling others how to think and engaging in character assassination of those who refuse to do as told. It's funny, really. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Sounds decent.
it does. Like, it's not about,
I mean, most of the rules are just technically common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, people are technically forgetting like certain tenets are not supposed to be that dogmatic. It falls under a certain humanist value.
Don't be proud. Do not be drowsy. Don't be lazy. Don't be a grumbler. Don't be a detractor.
be a decent.
This is something that encourages good work ethic in freaking coding.
Yeah.
And other places.
Also, Jolt, I don't know if you've seen his old too, but like, there's a rule that I saw there, like that says love chastity. So, I can only wonder what the fuck that means.
What says chastise thyself, which basically means don't do
love
anything.
chastity.
Well, either it means to love chastising yourself, or it means there's a chick named Chastity that we need to start loving.
I think what it's essentially saying is, don't have sex before marriage. That's pretty much probably what it's saying.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of this
Silicon
stuff.
Valley.
Hey, when did Marilyn Manson
God.
get a sex change?
Oh god, this one here, this abomination here is the SGW who's been pushing, these code of conducts onto Linux.
I can see the lizard hiding beneath the human skin. That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, they got what they wanted.
Yeah, those eye, the eye contacts. I mean, I'm not gonna hide, from the scaly eyes, not even that rubber skin. I know what they're up to. Alex Jones was right.
I mean, here's the good part about this, though. The SQLite is an important tool for things like Dropbox, iTunes, Facebook, Skype. Get rid of Facebook, get rid of that. And, this, if they take this down, they're going to take a lot of, essential services these days if they try to screw up SQLite.
Of course they would. They're going to fuck it up. Why wouldn't they?
This is like some kind of purge. If they're gonna really have their own way.
Least SQLite, you give them credit. They took the right steps, and now basically everybody who's is just weeded out because they're NPCs, and now it's all an outrage. So now more people are gonna switch to SQLite because of this.
Oh,
So,
I can only imagine.
Though, we're gonna compare and contrast this. I hate to bring up FA, but dude, if I took over this, I would basically wipe it and put what SQLite just put in, because none of this is freaking. Okay. Some of the stuff is actually blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Also, thanks for the discrimination for affinity. Hope you're proud of yourselves, asshole.
Yeah. Do not engage in malicious speech. Do not engage. Identify, promote if you hate and thingo.
Diverse community, respect the differences of others, and keep discussion civil, regardless of the differences. How fucking ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, not to mention Furry's code of conduct is just...
So, in other words, the people in charge are breaking their own code of conduct that they set out.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Well,
So they're
There's a
basically
secret story.
shooting themselves in the foot.
There's a secret story as to what happened between me and Fur Affinity, though there's not many people that actually know about it. One day, I got on there, saying, I'm not a furry. Maybe I am. I'm in denial about it, probably. But I decided to get on there. And so, all of a sudden, I see this person, think it's Diagonir or Toucanir. I don't know what the person's name is. All I know is it was a founder. Huh?
So it was a mock username? Something like that?
It was the person who was the founder. I can't remember the name.
Oh, Dragoneer.
I don't care. But my point being is, when I decided to say hello, and apparently saying hello gets you banned from there. So that was the secret that I had to live with about my Fur Affinity account. And to this day, it was hard, but I finally got the courage to come out and, tell you all about it.
Well, damn.
I mean, you actually, you didn't go through all the, how can I say, through all their trails and everything to go into their safe space bubble. So just go in and say hello is a dagger through your bubble, and it's so bad they had to ban you. Oh my god, so horrible.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
They banned you just for saying hi?
Exactly.
Indeed. It was terrible. Wink,
Man,
wink.
you got Steve Shive.
Yep.
Now,
But I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this moment to just say I'm going to leave. But before I do, first of all, thank y'all for having me on here, and I want to say a nice poet to one of my favorite furries on here, Jolt. No, boy. Anyways, here I call this Jolt the butt of squirrels.
Is this the part where I have to sit down and listen to you,
Absolutely.
Yes.
You will be tied up to a chair while doing it. Okay.
Oh, my.
Yes, we're getting into that kind of stuff. All right, let me just get my deep narrator voice on. Jolt is a squirrel, the best in the world. He's got black hair and a sexy stare. I think the dude is bi, or he's frickin' high. When I woke up on Christmas nightin', he was cross-dressing, and he did me the frighten. He has a nice fur ball, but he isn't really tall. He can't do any harms, but I'll ask for his lucky charms. I will conclude with this last thing, and then the fat lady will sing. Jolt, I say this from the bottom of my heart with everything that I have in me. You have always annoyed me when you asked for my nuts. Ooh. Thank you all. Good night.
I'm so flattered already. Wow. Oh, wow. And just for the record, he crashed this ship. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, let's see what he can come up with. That sounds like a good move on my part. Wow.
I took my headphones off for that.
You missed out on something. That's alright.
Oh. At least you can rewatch it again. You can rewatch it. And
I think this is pretty much the time that we've got for the show.
Could I say one thing that we talked about quickly at the beginning of this thing when we talked about Metro. I don't want people going into Metro thinking it's the exact same thing as the Redux, because it isn't.
A Redux?
There's a Redux version of the Metro games, but the original version of the first game has a item difference and several karma point differences. I just had to say that. In the second game, Last Light, the Redux version has just karma point differences. There's no item difference.
So I hear.
So
fun facts of the meme.
Anyway, just to wrap this up though, since you've already, I was about to get people to say the closing statements, but since you've already gone and jumped ahead, you're not getting one anymore. Now we're getting to the other host though. Lou.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have any closing statements?
Oh, I do. I gotta have a closing statement. I do have one. Then it goes by, never use God's name in vain for your own political gains or whatnot. Using the name of Christ in order to promote anti-masturbation this or that, it's clearly going to send you into a deep pit of hell where there's no way out. So please, stop using the word of Christ for your own political gains. God, I promise you, there is much to fear from the afterlife, if done so.
Agreed.
I was just criticized by a hedgehog about Christ. Okay.
Lou, did you have any closing statements?
My shy ass. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry. That's
the first time, you people.
That's the exact same way when I first came on here.
The sweater meme is cool. That's all I have to say.
Well, at least you like it.
Yeah.
Well, now you're getting ideas to draw people in it.
I think
and charging for it too.
I think I barely talked when I first came on here.
Probably Jew. I kid.
Who hated it so I could put them in it.
Jill, we're going over our time. We hear it.
That's alright. I mean, we don't care if it's late.
That's true. A few minutes.
Mikhail?
Closing statement. Don't high stream unless you're a professional.
None of you are professionals.
Why would he ever be?
If you want to be a professional, get at smoking weed.
And he's talking about Elon Musk. He's talking about Elon Musk lighting up some herb in a podcast.
He did.
Yes.
He did 2 puffs and said he didn't like it.
And he kept on smoking it too.
He only did 2 puffs. The entire stream, as far as I know, he only did 2.
Oh.
Anyway, Hannon, any closing statements on your end?
Well, have fun in your own way. Don't let anyone stop you.
And don't force, others, to have it your own way, right?
Unless what you're doing is illegal.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's something illegal, then expect the full might of the justice system.
Unless you're Canadian.
Well,
yeah, because that way you basically.
Hey, Joel. I sent them to your DMs on Telegram.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, did you send the art you made of him?
I put him in the sweater.
Ooh.
I probably won't share it that you see, but nonetheless, it's highly
appreciated. To me afterwards. I really want to see.
I'm good with never seeing Joel.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I do. Really, I do. But
that's
anyway,
gonna be worth to see.
You seem like a good artist, Lou.
It's time. Yeah, it's time we close this off.
Time to wrap it up.
Thanks to the viewers for taking your time to have a listen to it. I hope you had fun, as we always do, producing this for you. It's free to listen to, and you can find it on outside of YouTube on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play Store, and Stitcher. Never be short on platform.
So we hope you see us. So we hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I look forward to the next one. So see you guys next time, and until then,
farewell.
I didn't know we were on iTunes.
Proske.
80 Nahue.